I should have taken a Xanax. Okay. I took one yesterday. I was having anxiety. Okay. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, I am Paige Nichols, and this is Bad Information, a love letter to the country that drives us mad and queer. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Hey.
I don't know what to say. Should I introduce myself?
I mean, I think people want to know who you are.
Hi, I am Barbara. Barbara.
Just like Cher, like no last name?
Yes, exactly. Okay. No, Pavan. P-A-V. Pavan, yes. Inspired by
Kylie Minogue. Comeback queen. And not like she ever needed to come back from anything, but we're just so glad she's here.
How old is she?
Like 55.
She's amazing. I love her.
Okay, so Barbara Padam.
I am a journalist. I work with musicians. I don't know what to say. I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, I called you here because you're a lesbian.
Yeah, well,
that's all I care about.
Is this going to be televised? Because maybe people are not seeing like my outfit.
Yeah, you look pretty straight to me.
Really?
Guys.
Straight man.
You look like you're from Milwaukee.
Thank you. You throw the greatest compliments.
Where's your PBR? Although I would totally drink a PBR right now. Barbara is the resident lesbian. Well, alongside me, because if you have not caught up, between 3 years ago and now, think pasaron cosas.
Oh my God, really?
I know. Can you believe it? What? Just the Keith Haring. I'm wearing a Keith Haring sweatshirt because, I'm an ally. Apparently, I was so good of an ally that I just came right back around and decided to come out of the closet. That was cool. Actually, it was. But Barbara is here today we're just going to have like a queer chat because I thought we would, I wanted to talk about queerness in Argentina, being queer. And at first I was like, I have all these, gay guys in my life. And it's like, do like white cis men need another platform? No. I'm really sorry to break everyone that news. There are plenty of spaces for them to be. So why not, I don't know, actually spread the love?
We have a lot of information, actual information, not bad information.
And also, let's not forget that LGBTQIA plus starts with L. And we all know why that is.
Love.
Lilith Fair. God, I wanted to go to Lilith Fair so bad. Paige, date cuenta, por favor. Love the Indigo Girls still. God.
That's like, also, I think that's like an age reference, because I think, I'm not calling you old. Just hold your horses.
How old are you?
I'm 36. I'm as old
So am I.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kid sauce. What sign are you?
Aries.
Oh, I'm a Libra. Usually we get along, but now I'm mad at you.
Why? What I mean is, like, girls today, or like female identifying lesbians. I don't know. I don't want to like mess up with like the definitions, but I don't know if they like they have different spaces. I mean,
yeah. I mean, maybe
it's incredible.
You could say that maybe some of those elder gays are maybe almost turf adjacent today. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like there might be some lesbians there who are not vibing with the current queer context, which is thankfully better and more accepting and much more diverse.
Yeah.
But again, Indigo Girls can fucking get it. So you know what? That's fine with me.
But this is interesting because we were like growing up with like this, like the same references, but we didn't have like here a Lilith Fair.
Yeah. What like
did we? I don't think so. I don't think we had.
I mean, does anyone know? Marcos doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. Connie, do we know?
No, nobody knows.
We're talking to the ghosts in the room that you can't see or hear, but they're with us because we have to move in a pack. It's actually part of the gay rules. So, Barbara, are you from Buenos Aires?
I am from Buenos Aires. I'm actually from like suburbia, like ugly suburbia.
Which cordon?
Lanús. Second.
The anus.
Yes.
Oh my
the
God.
asshole of the city.
Lesbiano lanusiense.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Why? Why would you wish that on somebody?
I just love saying Lanús.
Well, it is not a pretty sight, and it was not a pretty sight in the aughts.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
I mean, I've talked with like other lesbians that are like relatively my age, and they were like, yeah, it was like a queer HubSpot. And where?
Where were they?
I don't know.
Where was the planet of Lanús? Like, did
the planet?
El Planeta. I'm surprised that someone didn't like open like a direct copy, because I do love how here they just like see something like afuera and they're like, we're just gonna just rip it off and do it here.
Like Dean and Dennis?
Like literally Dean and Denny's. And we're just gonna be like, okay, El Planeta de Lanús. I would go there.
You're too blonde to go there. I was too blonde to go there.
I do love, that's like a sidebar. I think we've talked about this before, but I love how in Argentina people think I'm tall and blonde. And then I go home and I tell like my friends that, and they're like, you are neither of those things. You are deeply...
You are here.
You
are now a native here.
When people are like, why do you live here? ¿Por qué estás acá? It's like, because en este país soy alta y rubia, mi amor. O sea, hello. It's like the biggest self-esteem boost of my fucking life. But actually, I had a traveler on one of my groups who was like very, very blonde, very fair skin. And I told this story. And I was saying it obviously like con humor. Like it was obvious that and she was like, you're not blonde. And I was like, okay, it's not like a club. Like, it's not like it's like I'm not in Mensa. Like you didn't pass the test. It was like, I'm aware of that. Oh my God, and I was like, it's okay. Like, it's not
I'm trying
real.
to be funny. You can relax now.
Literally just hair. So you were a little baby lesbian in Lanús. And when did you come to Buenos Aires, capital? And when did you come out?
Oh, I came out when I was 19, 18.
9. Oh, okay.
9, I think I'm kind of like a latecomer. No,
I mean, no one's as late as me right now.
That's
35.
That's a good point.
35. I mean, there are
better late than never.
Really, honestly, yes. Thank the Lord. Thank gay God. But 19 is to me a baby.
Yeah, I was a baby. But yeah.
Did you get like your standard issue, like flannel shirt and Doc Martens?
Yeah, of course I did. I have like a broad collection of flannel shirts, but I was...
What about printed shirts for summer, like Hawaiian shirts? Do you have those or no?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes. It's mandatory. Don't you have them?
I actually don't.
Didn't you get like the list in the mail
I dress more like a house painter, as we've all seen it from my overalls, which I love, and you can take them from my cold dead hands. But no, I'm not so much a leñadora or like a Hawaiian,
Okay.
Of the tropes. Like I think some of those queer design tropes are international. They do transcend. I don't lean into the estampado shirt, but I do have a few. I have like a couple that I like to whip out, but like not a broad collection.
That's okay. You're forgiven.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I still have.
It's just 1 year. You can like amass a larger collection of gay things.
Yeah.
And going back to baby, like what were you doing when you were 19?
I was in college.
Okay.
I was dating men.
So was I.
I was thinking about this. I have never been single, not on purpose, but 19, I guess when I was a sophomore in college. Okay. So I'd just been dumped by my high school sweetheart boyfriend, totally heartbroken, but then was like, this sucks, crying over a man is stupid. First clue, Paige, first clue. And then a guy friend that we were like all friends freshman year ended up living across the hall from me. Sophomore year we started dating, and now I realize why he was very he looked like a really hot woman. So now, he was very very thin, beautiful blue eyes, like great jaw and bone structure. And once again, Paige, date cuenta,
dude.
But yeah, I was studying letras. I was doing Puan.
The fancier Puan.
The fancy Puan. But, I wasn't I was at a very cheto private university, but I was still doing filosofia. So there you go.
Great. So I was basically in the same place, but in a third world country. And I did not have a boyfriend because gross. But I didn't know I kind of suspected it. And then one day, I think I told Marcos this story already. I had the ghost in the room. Then one day I was like buying cigarettes in like smoker. Not anymore, but yes. And I always had like really good conversations with like the lady that sold me the cigarettes.
Oh my God. It's a true love story.
It was a girl. This is where it ends. But I was like, hey, my day is now better because I spoke to this woman in like this
honey.
kiosk. And I was like leaving Ciudad Universitaria, and it was, I'm gay. God, I'm gay. I'm not happy because the lady is nice. I have the hots for this woman. I am gay.
I am gay. I was always like, I literally, and this is another attribution to Marcos. She wasn't a Libra. She was a lesbian. Yeah. Because I'm like, I just like love looking at beautiful women because I love aesthetics and just like things that are beautiful because I'm a Libra and we appreciate beauty and women are objectively more beautiful than men. And it was like, oh my God. Yeah. The closet was made of glass. But like there really isn't, it's so much harder, I feel like, for women, maybe, I mean, to have like, there's less visibility. Jesus God, this thing, there's just less visibility. Like I feel like I always was surrounded by like queer men, like so male dominated, and so like it was always like that was more accepted and it was fine and cool, and I mean it was on Will and Grace and like on TV and whatever, and it was just they were very like, you know, very stereotypical, but at the same time it was like much more visible. Yeah, all we had was like Rosie O'Donnell. Who I love, obviously, but like, you know, there was this like more negative association with like queer women. It was like definitely more of like a lesbian dirty word, like insult, and like not, and like let's reclaim that. Anyone? Okay. Like the Dyke March in the US, but yeah, I feel like it's like takes you, sometimes it's harder to come around there because you're just like, you just don't think, because comp head is so strong.
I think that there was a moment in, not now, but I think that it was like end of the 90s, beginning of like the 2000s, where like, I think that lesbianism is, or the acceptance of lesbianism is really associated with misogyny as well. Oh, yeah. So that's a whole other thing to discuss.
The cosificación.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so gross. Ugh.
This is like the eternal debate of are lesbians women, because we don't exist to fulfill any roles in a patriarchal society. Yeah. I'm sorry, my twang cannot handle
Barbara's twang. She's from Texas. Honey.
I really don't think I have a twang, but that's fine. So in lost my train of thought.
Are lesbians women because we don't exist in function of men?
We don't exist, or especially like masculine women, like me, for example, that I don't dress like a typical woman.
Right.
We don't have like that. We exist like outside of what is
like that society, like that societal structure. It's kind of like we don't need men.
So gay men are still men. So they still like benefit and profit. Do not look at me like that.
Are gay men people? Do they deserve rights? Men don't deserve rights. Vote. You've heard it here first.
Leave your comment. Hello.
Yes, no.
So, well, we went on a tangent, but
we did.
Back to the original question. I forgot it.
Well, there you go. Let's just call it a whole thing off. So, okay, well, we're thinking, I was asking you sort of about your journey and your coming out and being here. And I guess like I'm curious because I've been here for 15 years and I was very fortunate. I mean, I grew up in Washington, D.C. and exposed to all different kinds of cultures and was always around queerness in its own way. And it was very like, I mean, my parents are very open and progressive and everything. And then when I got here, most of my friends, I ended up realizing were like a big majority of them were queer in the queer community. But I would like to know, like what was it like in the 90s and the 2000s, and like how's it changed for you? Because I feel like here, I mean, we know Argentina is super progressive. Yeah, it's super, especially Buenos Aires. Like I have a whole like fact sheet here because I thought you might want to like take notes and learn and be good allies or just be good gays. But because there's a reason Buenos Aires is like a global destination for queer tourism, because it is so accepting and progressive, and like what we've got since like equal marriage since 2010, right?
Yeah.
In July, and it's one of the most like accepting countries in Latin America.
I think it was like, if not the first country in Latin America to like pass like the equality marriage.
Yeah,
equal marriage.
Yeah, actually it was. I hear, and also we haven't even gone to about like gender identity, but like the fact that like this is a great place to be. I think all things considered, given that it's a Catholic country and it's like there's so much machismo. Yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of things that are very traditional, and you could say like archaic. However, that being said, this is a fabulous place to be if you are gay and if you can find your people. And like but when you're younger, how was that like finding your tribe and like especially like gay women versus, you know, gay men or gay people or like, you know, the folks. And like, what was that like for you?
I mean, I found like my queer tribe like in one of my first jobs.
At
like
the mechanics?
At the mechanics. Yes. At the little fair. But
At the hardware store.
at the shirt store.
The shirt store.
But no, I mean, I couldn't find, or I didn't have like the tools to find other like lesbians. So I don't go outside a lot. I didn't at the time, at least.
Go outside or go out?
At all. I don't go outside. I just move through tunnels.
I was like, are you?
I am literally a mole. No, but I didn't like go out to parties and such. So I started working at a call center, like one of those, like, hello,
hi,
my
this
name
is
yes.
Barbara.
I worked for Office Depot.
Oh my God, that is the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
First for Office Depot and then Sprint.
Oh, I love Sprint. Oh.
Yeah. So I met a lot of people there and...
the ghosts in the room.
And most of them were queer. And that's where I found like a lot of like gay people around me. And that's like when I started like really coming out of my shell. I think I was like maybe 20. I was always like this bookworm and like didn't have like a lot of social life. But then I did start like going out to gay parties and like going to like gay events. Like my first like Pride March here, I think I went there when I was like, I don't know, 19. I just got
baby
like,
gay.
Yeah, really, really baby gay. I even had long hair. Like,
oh my God.
to my waist or something like that. And I went like really early, like 2 p.m. Nobody cool was there.
Yeah, it was all like the parents.
Yes. And like the first thing I see when I like get off the subway is like somebody from high school and like, fuck this. Fuck, I don't want this. I don't want to mingle with these people in this space.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me like to find like that tribe. And I know that people our age, or some lesbians our age, didn't have that problem. Like they like had like their friends and all that. But I think that some of them like studied letras and they studied letters, the alphabet. Yes, A, B, C. And they found their space there. Like I found my space like with people speaking in English.
Yeah. Like it just happened naturally and it happened when it happened. I feel like it's funny how that works out, I guess. Like you're just drawn to also to certain people, whether you know it, you know, whether you know the reason or not, and there's other things that you have in common. But I mean, I always found myself hanging out with queer people and surprise, but never like it was never. I mean, also it was so different. You know, I was married when I was like 24. I was super young, and like I never questioned. I mean, I never questioned it. I never had the time or the space to question that, and I always just like there was such a blind spot. Like I have friends who were like, you know, I've known since I was 10 that I was gay, and I was in the closet, and I like was trying to hide it, or I was trying to like suppress. I just like it never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is I mean, I don't know. It just never I just was like, men are gross, but like you have to be with them anyway. And like, you know, they sought me out and whatever. And you're living in this very, like compet world where it's just like, that is what you do. And I fit in and I'm super femme presenting and everything. So it's not like it was like, okay, Paige, like, you know, it's like girl, like, you know, so whatever. But I was always around queer people and being like, these are my best friends. I love, like, you know, cause they are my friends. I love them. And I always felt safe and good and wanted to be with them. Like I would never go to like a straight boliche. Like if I ever went to like a boliche, it would be like, you know, whatever, now like Laplop, oh my God, I haven't been there in forever. But you know what I mean? Like that kind of just like, it felt like a safe space. Yeah. And then like, I always was at Pride, best ally ever. I just was like, this is the best day of the year. And now it's like, they're
overachiever.
Yeah, I allied so hard, but I think that like it is so special to when you do find your people because you realize it's like it is such. I mean, this past year or so for me has been so transformative because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like it takes on such a deeper level of importance to have people who understand what you're going through and know what your life is like, and especially other women too. Because again, I was always around gay men, and like that sort of brings me. Well, like one of the things, you know, we could talk about is just like you know, finding like queer spaces in Buenos Aires, like abundan, like there is like there it's such a gay friendly city, but so many of the parties and spaces are like gay men, like gay men with 0% body fat, and like who literally on their Grindr profiles probably say like no fats, no femmes, no Asians, like literally. Like, so it's not necessarily a space where everyone feels welcome, because it is like you have to, within that there is a hierarchy, and it's like either that and these like dungeon sex parties, which like, again, cool, like do what you want. I'm not like judging that, but it's like maybe not a space where I want to go every weekend. Or it's like a vegan poetry reading. And like, I'm sorry, like I do love jamon. So like, I'm not going to be, I don't want to be doing that either. Like where, like, I don't know.
Guess I'm not inviting you to my vegan poetry reading.
No, I'm busy that day. I have to wash my hair. I'm so sorry. I have to clip my nails. But like, it's kind of, I mean, you know, I think that I'm interested because I'm still like, I'm still scratching the surface, like from a different person, you know, now that I am a gay trademark, but like where, you know, if you aren't lucky enough to already have friends or from your job, like where would you go, especially as a gay woman, to find your people? Because lesbians notoriously, you know, the U-Haul, ¿cómo se dice U-Haul en castellano? I mean, it's like you couple up and then you're just like, you don't go out. Or is it different here?
No, it's not different here. Not at all. We don't have U-Haul, but we have like the concept of
flete.
Yeah. Fletes.
Fleteras. Just like fleterísima. I just like saying that. But also, yeah. But so, I mean, what would you like? What's that like? You know, is it like, are we missing spaces? Are there good spaces to go?
No, I think that there are good spaces. I think that there's one thing, I don't want to keep talking about gay men, but I think that they do have like more freedom. What I do see now is that like these dungeon sex parties are more like not only like swingers and men. I think that lesbians do have like their own dungeon sex parties now, which I think that maybe 10 years ago that didn't happen so much, so often.
Pasa la data. Really? Okay.
If you're interested. We're too old for that. I mean, dungeons, humidity,
I
girl.
just started going back to Pilates, so you know, give me a. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, the humidity. I'm like getting sweaty just thinking about it, like not in a good way. But that's okay. Good. So it's evolving. And maybe just at a slower pace.
Yeah, and I think that right now you have like these spaces and like parties, and there used to be like really like female only like boliches that were like horrible. Do not recommend. Luckily, they do not exist. There was this one that was called Maria. God. Scary.
Where was Maria?
I think it was in San Telmo.
Of course she was.
Yes.
Bohemia.
I think I
Don't get me started.
It was one dude like saying uno, dos, tres.
There was a man allowed in Maria?
It was the DJ. The only man allowed in Maria was the DJ, because apparently they could not find lesbian DJ in like the 400 people that were there. And I mean, it's kind of, if you don't have like your clique.
Yeah. The grupo. Oh my God. It always goes back to the grupo, man. So if you don't have a grupo,
yeah, definitely.
Friendship is hard.
And if you don't like fit in with like girls who like to go to boliches, or girls who like to go to those poetry readings, it's like you're in the middle, right? So parties like La Plopo, La Olivero, La Vintage, those were like mixes.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that was kind of like a nice rejunte.
So you didn't have to like, hey, you want to come to like this poetry reading? Sure, I'll go because I want to like meet people like me. But at the same time, I fucking hate poetry and I hate what you're reading.
There is a lot of really bad poetry out there. Like I support the arts, let that be known. But like, girl, just keep it in your diary.
Definitely.
Or like,
no, just enter in the in like the pressing enter in the keyboard is not poetry, honey. It's just dividing a sentence without any sense whatsoever.
I mean, again, like the world needs like emotionally intense people, myself included, to like write things and to keep their feelings. And so I do actually
the world also needs plumbers.
Oh my God.
Not all plumbers can be poets.
Oh my God, that was eloquent.
Yeah, but maybe it should be published.
Yeah. So like, I mean, so if you like, what are the other like lesbian stereotype niches here? So we've got the vegan poets.
We got the vegan poets. We got, most lesbians are crazy, but
okay, Barbara, we are borderline on.
We are both of us are crazy.
I mean, I'm crazy fabulous.
Okay.
I mean, we all have mental illness. Fine, that's true. If you are queer and not mentally ill, something's wrong with you. But like,
you cannot be not mentally ill in capitalism, girl.
so many
Deep
truth bombs.
shit.
So many truth bombs coming out. So beyond, we're operating under the context that everyone's a bit bonkers. Totally fine.
Okay.
But we have the poets.
We have the poets. We have the girls who do like crafts.
Okay.
Okay,
Like the
like-
artesanas.
Yeah,
Like crochet?
No, like ceramics.
Oh, there's so much ceramic action happening.
Yes.
Well, you have to be good with your hands.
Well,
Hot.
yeah.
I love a good ceramic moment.
But you need to be like clean as well.
Well,
Like,
please, yes, get a nail brush, everybody.
definitely, please. And what else? You have like the intellectual lesbians.
Yeah.
Those are annoying.
Yeah.
Which
What about the sports gays?
Sports gays.
As she says, wearing her Toronto Blue Jays
I
jersey.
have no idea how this sport works, but I like the bird.
Sports gay.
And what else? You have like the old gays. I consider myself an old gay.
Well, no, but I actually am curious about that because I mean, when you think about queer elders are so important, and so many men are not here because
Yeah.
they died of AIDS, and like we do not forget that, and but women are we're a little bit luckier in that, and so stuck around. But where are the old lesbians? Where do they hang out?
Yeah, that's a good
Because
question.
we're not old. I mean, come on, we're 36.
No, we're not old.
We're like the 55 and above. We're
I-
the 60 years olds.
I read a book like maybe last month that Marcos the Ghost
Oh,
gave
yeah,
me.
that-
Do you know what book I'm talking about?
Yes, I do, and I want you to talk about it.
It is an amazing book, and there is a lot of stuff. It's just like people talking. Like the actual structure of the book is an
Wait,
interviews.
what book is it? This is No Soy
It's-
Bombero, pero
yes.
tampoco ando en puntillas. Such a good book. Get the book. It is.
Get the book.
Marcos got it for me for my birthday, and it was one of the best gifts I've ever gotten because
Do
it talks
you-
about old lesbians in like the most beautiful way.
And I did not have like a clue. And I mean, these are like my foremothers. I mean, why did not I?
You're welcome, bitch.
Where's the visibility? Here,
You
yeah.
give this book to every lesbian you know for their birthdays?
Required reading, but it's it's between 1930 and 1976. I mean, it's a fabulous anthology about women and like their experiences in a time when it was so different, and either being
Yeah.
brave enough to be out or like living your entire life in the closet or like going into becoming a nun. And it's just like so
It's amazing.
beautiful and sad and amazing and touching and really cool.
And
Oh my God, El Sótano de San Telmo, literally the basement of San Telmo. Of course, it's the
sex dungeon.
lesbian basement. Can't wait to read that though. I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
But I mean-
so I always have so many pockets.
Because you're a lesbian now.
I know. Well, I've never carried. I never carried a purse. I was like, why do I want everything to be in a pocket? Oh my God, Paige, literally stop. There were so many clues, but I just did not know. I would have really appreciated maybe someone being like, hey.
You would have said, oh my God, no, I'm such an ally. I mean, don't get confused. Wait, back to the book.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to say that I think it showcases that most of like the support structures that we need are like community,
Yeah.
community. Because these
takes a
women,
village.
like had families that they had really complicated relationships with their families and complicated relationships with their partners, but they didn't need their friends and their lesbian community and their gay and lesbian community, because the you know that part where they talk about the like the parties.
Yeah.
Where-
Oh my God, I love that whole part.
I kept imagining like myself in that situation with like arriving with a man as my date, and I was like, God, this is like living in this like era would have been surreal for me, because I mean, I'm really thankful for how the world has turned out to be in terms of like rights and acceptance and diversity, and the fact that now kids today can say, like, you know what, I'm not
It's like
gay, I'm not
post label.
straight.
Like I was talking to a friend about this when I was like struggling with this last year, and he has a stepdaughter, and he was saying, in her generation, like she's like 14, like they don't even need to like declararse. It's just like today I like Juan, tomorrow I like Maria, and then
Yeah.
and it like doesn't even matter. It's post label, and because he was saying for me, like, Paige, do you think this is like like, how do you identify? Like, how do you want to identify? Have you thought about that? Is important to you? And I was like, I think it is super important to me to say, like, I am a lesbian, because it marks like because I was for so long identifying as straight. So it's like, if I were 15 years old, maybe I wouldn't be so like complicated about it, right? Because it'd be like, okay, whatever, I was with a guy for a while, and I think it's so cool that it has changed. And here you see like young people being queer and like being out and like literally out in public. And it seems like you still get, I mean, like, I don't know, I still feel like I get looks. I also live in like Recoleta, hi, but like, you know, and being cosificadas, like, you know, people like to, I mean, stare. I think that gay men pasan un poco más despercibidos, un poquito. I feel like depending on where you are and how they present compared to, I feel like two women together is still like, sometimes people like to stare a little bit more. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that, but like,
yeah. And we're like really like porteño centric because
yes, this is a podcast federal. I know, but I'm sorry. I live in Buenos Aires and
definitely. But
I don't have the budget to bring people in. I can only get them from Lanús. Okay.
That's as far as we're going to go.
As far as the anus.
But I went to Córdoba, God-forsaken province of Argentina.
I love Córdoba, la mejor república. Oh my God.
Córdoba is beautiful.
You are just as like polémica as Marcos. You say things like very bomba.
We are friends. I mean,
that's why
we've been friends.
Too,
like,
but like it's like black cat and you're like golden retriever with black cat vibes.
That is a compliment.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Get a girl who can do both.
Wait. Córdoba. Lovely place.
Córdoba.
Horrible people. They do not speak Spanish. I don't know what that is.
So I have some very close friends who are Cordobeses and I love them very dearly. So
I am not saying your friends are bad people. I'm just making a general assumption with no facts at all.
Okay. Okay. So, but are they all homophobic?
No, but nobody. I went there like maybe 2 months ago for my birthday. And this was deep Córdoba, not Córdoba capital, deep Córdoba. Nobody referred to me as a woman.
Oh, they just misgendered the shit out of you?
All the time.
Hola, like, campeón.
Maestro.
Che, tigre.
Mecánico super. And I just, in the car, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I'm not gonna.
Okay. As long as you don't gay bash me.
Actually, my pronouns are she, her. And they're like, eh. Yeah, that.
El chico quiere super, eh?
That's tough.
I mean, I don't have like a problem with like being misgendered. It's fine. I don't care. Like,
it's like people call my name, they call me Paike or like Peggy. Like, I mean, since it's like, I'm not gonna like
Peggy Lee.
I mean, it's a little different, it's, you know, but I'm at the same time, like, I'm not gonna start like
it's your fault for having a difficult name.
Blame my parents. Actually, blame my sister because she was born prematurely and had a delay in learning how to talk, and they were actually going to name me Cameron, but it was too many syllables for her, so they chose
another
Paige.
gay sign. Is there a gayer name than Cameron? Alex.
There you go. It was written in the stars. Yeah. So, okay, that's tough. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm talking about Buenos Aires when we're talking about...
Buenos Aires, yes, definitely.
But I have these fun facts, though. I mean, in Argentina, 76% of people believe homosexuality should be accepted in society as of 2020. That is the highest ranking country in Latin America on the list.
Disclaimer, we are inside that 76%.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think I would be interested to see, I mean, I'm sure, of course, just like in the United States, someone's experience as a young gay person in small town Mississippi is not the same as if you grew up in San Francisco or New York. Also depends so much on your family and who, and, you know, your exposure. And I think that's why, like, the bigger your world can be, the better. But, like, you know, here, I mean, you've got, like, there is, I guess it's like, and now especially with like internet and just the way the world is so much more connected. I mean, before it was like que fotolog, like, oh my God, Cumbio, we should be talking about her.
You should have her on the podcast.
Oh my God, I would love Cumbio. Call me if you aren't like hanging out with Mirta. Oh my God,
if you really want it to happen, I can make it happen.
Oh my God, the Lesbian Whisper Network. Yes. I love it. For real?
Yeah, sure. I can find her. I mean, I probably have like 2 degrees of separation.
Probably. Yeah. Is that like, have you dated all of your like exes? Like, have you dated, like, is it all the same? Like, are all the stereotypes the same? Do you date, like, is the dating pool very small? Is that you're friends with your exes? Are we?
Marcos, do not look at me like that. I am friends with some of my exes. I am not friends with all of them.
Do you move, like, how is the moving in together here when you have the whole deal of like who has the garantía, who has the, the contrato de los años?
Are you moving in with your lady friend?
No, for the first time in my life, I finally live alone, and I love my space.
Yes.
I love my space, and I want to enjoy that.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No worries about the garantía. Okay, so I've lived with 2 girlfriends. One of which was like maybe we lived together for 5.5 years.
That's a really long time.
ass time.
How many cats did you acquire during that?
0 cats.
Okay.
0. That is like a feat.
That is a feat.
And then I acquired all of my animals being single.
Okay.
Like recovering from breakups. You know what? I need an animal.
Yeah.
You know what? I need a support animal right now.
Yeah, so let's get one that had Moki show. Barbara has a dog that like wiggles, and she's really cute. But
yeah, she is. I
she
should have
never
brought her.
Oh my god,
she has thoughts.
She never stops moving.
She wouldn't have been distracting. I mean, I'm used to her.
Yeah,
but it's weird for people to see her all the time. Like
she's a tender soul. I know. I'm like she's really tripping right now. She's like rolling.
You haven't met her personally, have you yet?
I have not had the chance. No.
You will. You will. Wait.
Moving in.
So
5.5 years with one, and then the next
2.5 years.
And
I think
who kept the apartment after the breakup?
The first breakup, I kept the apartment, but like for a really short time because it was like a big apartment.
Okay.
And the second breakup, she kept the apartment.
Okay.
But that was okay. I mean,
did you break up and then still live together until you found a place?
No.
Okay.
No.
That to me sounds like a very unique and terrible form of torture. Like I cannot. There are these TikTok lesbians and they live in DC and they were engaged and they just broke up apparently, and they're living together like for 2 more weeks until she. And I was like, girl, like go, get an Airbnb or like
go away,
get out. Like
Jesus,
what are you doing to yourself?
No, I mean with my first breakup, we were like discussing like who leaves and who stays.
So much talking in a lesbian relationship.
Then we were like broken up. And then one day I was like cooking dinner and she told me, you know what? I'm going to be late. And I was like, why the fuck am I cooking dinner in this apartment? And I like grabbed un tupper.
Oh, my un tupper.
Took the dinner with me and went to live with my cousin for 2 weeks.
Because you are petty above all.
Yes.
I mean, duh.
I also broke the pot.
Oh my!
And I never confessed this in public. I hope she never hears it.
Well, I hope she's learning English because she's going to find out now. No. Sorry.
She was never good at English. Another hard fact.
Oh my God. We are touching sensitive subjects.
But you know what? That was a good dinner. My cousin ate it too.
Oh my God.
Risotto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Classy.
Yeah.
Was it like
I'm
vegan?
a classy lady.
Was it like vegan risotto?
No, it wasn't a vegan risotto. You can't make vegan risotto.
How many exes do you have?
I have one. Live-in exes?
Just
2.
How many girlfriends have you had?
Girlfriends.
They don't have to be not like chongas. Like how many like
actual
relationships?
Yes. 4, 5.
That's pretty good.
6. Okay, I just came 6. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to recheck that, but with my memory, but I think that's 6.
And what like
only 2 of them were.
And how many of them do you still run into?
1.
I love the face. The ghosts in this room are making exquisite, like nonverbal, like commentary that is just. I'm loving it, and
They're off camera. They're off microphone. I am sorry. No, only 1.
Okay.
I actually quite hate my my ex-girlfriend.
Tell me how you really feel. So hey, sometimes
she knows it.
I harbor we don't all have good relationships. They don't always end well, and sometimes people hurt us very deeply. So you're entitled to that feeling, just like the people in Córdoba are apparently entitled to call you señor. But like whatever. Oh my God, that is.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I mean, don't you hate one of your exes?
Deeply. Yeah, he like ruined my life. But I think in general, everyone always like you want to have at least like be neutral, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes they do horrible things to you again, or like you just whatever. We live, we love, we lobotomize. Also, I need someone to get me. Have you seen the Target Pride collection? So Target is like
live, laugh, lesbian. I need that.
I need that shirt so much. That's like sold out everywhere, of course. And I think what we should just do is like have someone in Once like make it and just sell like they do here for everything. Well, Okay, la vida es corta, hacerte torta.
But there's no laughing.
I think that live, laugh, lesbian in like written in like a cursive font on like a baby pink t-shirt is like so much more fino and just so much more like, oh, it's fabulous. There should be Pride merch like at Pride. I mean, I want to talk about Pride a little bit because I think it's important for people who aren't maybe familiar with Argentina and the experience. And what I always loved about it is so like every year Pride here happens in November. It's not in June because it's winter. And well, for the first March, because it was happening during the AIDS crisis as a way of keeping everyone's a little safer in terms of health and immunity, decided to do the march not in the winter.
Summer.
And November, which is the best month of the year in Buenos Aires. It's Jacaranda season, it's Pride season, it's everything season. So I've been going for as long as I can remember, and I really love that it is so political because first of all, existence is political, Pride is political, and I don't think that it can be watered down and made into this just like I really don't like how in the US and maybe in other parts of the world it's like so corporate. It's just like absolute vodka, like our float, and like I mean it's like I love that it seems like very popular in the sense of like everyone goes, but it feels very performative, and it feels like there's so much distance from the actual like lucha por derechos that we still have to fight, especially nowadays if you look at the climate in the United States, like they are actively taking away our rights. So it's like I don't really feel like just like going on a walk down a busy street, like getting kind of drunk and like just having some glitter on. Like I also want to be around people who are, even if we don't always agree on the nitty-gritty of certain like causes or political parties or groups, like Pride is political, and I love that it's such a manifestation here. You know, you start in Plaza de Mayo, we go all the way up to Congreso, and then it's just like a big party, and it's like super fun. I mean, I don't know, like you can talk about, I want to hear about your experience. Actually, oh my God, I just remembered this. Another page, date cuenta moment. On my Instagram, I have to find it. There's a picture of me. And I was being twirled. I'm on the street, and it was a lesbian. It was a carroza de lesbianas.
Honey.
And they were twirling me. And my Pride, my caption says like, it's not Pride, or you haven't lived until you've been twirled by some lesbians down Avenida de Mayo.
That is the truth.
And oh my God, and I just totally forgot about that. I was like, what a great day. Like, did not realize that, but I think that's so special here, is it because it hasn't lost that spirit. So you have like families and people with their kids, and I mean, and like obviously every kind of queer person on the whole queer spectrum. And it's like, it's definitely not watered down. Like there is kink at Pride, just like there's this whole debate in the US of like, does kink belong at Pride and things like that. I don't know. Like, what do you think about it? Because I had some gay friends who, when I got here and I was like, are you going to go to Pride this weekend? And they were like, es muy política para mí, la marcha. And I was kind of like, okay, and everyone makes their choice and like, whatever, but I don't know.
You'll go to Pride for them. That's okay.
Yeah, like don't worry, I'll be marching for us all. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that it's really important to go. I think that it should remain like the date, because in the past few years, there's also been like little celebrations, like apolitical celebrations in June, which I understand that in a lot of places in the world is Pride Month,
but
it's like
not
World
here.
Pride Day,
right?
It's not here. So, I think that like there are people that don't even today associate like Pride June, not November, and when that actually happens, like now that we are like coming off like the COVID pandemic, I think that it's really important that we actually go
and take to the streets. Yeah. Pride 2021 was like the best day ever.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was like deranged. It was like the first. It was like because it was like our first.
It was your first Pride after coming out, or
it was kind of when I figured it out. But I mean, but it was like I think that like, but it was this. I mean, we were all vacunados. It was like we felt safe like being because I mean I was pretty like guardada during COVID. I mean I think a lot of us were, especially So it was like it felt so jubilant and so important to like just be out in every sense of the word.
I think that when people say, "Oh, I can't go," like, or I don't go because it's too political. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, you can go to the Pride March and have. I mean, well, if you're like a neo-Nazi, I wouldn't recommend going.
No.
But you can like be like a centrist and it's not a leftist march.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
There are plenty of conservative gays
Yeah.
who, don't believe in, I don't know, like social welfare programs,
And we need the conservative gays as well. We need to debate with those conservative gays. They need to be there as well.
Well, we're not a monolith. I mean, it's like there
Yeah.
does have to be, I mean, I can see when people say like, I see what people are trying to communicate, but I feel like it is such a specific lens through which they're
Yeah.
saying like, no way por mi política. It's like, again, everyone's existence is political.
Yeah.
And so we need to have like plurality of voices. So like, it's better that we don't all agree on the same thing maybe, or like share the same exact political views, but we should all be fighting for like basic human rights, which I think are pretty indisputable.
Yeah, in November, not June. That's like the importance of the date, besides like the historical facts, is when we can like actually amass like this portion of us in the streets.
It's so beautiful. Like I love that it's just like the entire. It's just it's like we're here, we're queer.
Yeah.
Get used to it. Like I think that's so fucking cool.
And what were you saying about like kink at Pride?
Yeah.
There should be kink. What's the problem?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's like that's how I feel like at home there's this sort of watering down of again trying to make pride queerness palatable to other people, and like
They haven't met Marcos.
the least palatable person on the planet, but he's got great hair.
We can't mention him because the lady that said that was angry with you mentioning all the time that this was your studio and your microphones is gonna get pissed again.
Oh my god! But, we sent her a besito.
Besito.
See you at Pride, girl. But I think that this whole I think that we should lean into. I mean, first of all, be authentic, be who you are. If you're not into that, that's fine, whatever, right? But like this trying to fit queerness into a box that is palatable to the straight sort of norm is like exactly not the point. Like it's sexuality is such a part of everyone's existence, and especially the queer existence. So it's like why should it only be like just like a rainbow and a unicorn because like my 5-year-old girl like Mary Lynn wants to be there. It's like, okay, fine, but like again, it's like it should not be centered on the comfort level of straight people. So like sorry, like I mean I'm not in the kink community, but doesn't mean but like I want them there because they're a part of the community, and that's the whole point.
And I think that there's like this.
I mean, I could
already have
maybe
gay
you never know. Let's
marriage.
talk next year. Shows up in a harness. Should have worn my harness. I do have one. Supporting local artesanos.
Ah, de facha.
No, de hombres. Like hombre without an E. Or, yeah, hombres. How do you say? Oh, hombres. I bought it like when I was at work. Like it was in my office. Anyway, and I came back. They were like, Paige, where'd you go? I was like, no, just went on an errand. It's very comfortable. Sorry, Mom.
Wait, I was going to say something that was really eloquent and smart. And
How convenient.
It's gone. Yes.
Well, talking about like kink at Pride and just like that centering or not?
Like, yes, it was Pride centered. And what I was going to say is a lot of like the attitude after 2010 was like, why do you still go there? You can already get married. Why? I don't even want to get married.
Right. But
it's important like to keep fighting for. It's not like gays and lesbians can't get married now. Like
It's
la
over.
ley de identidad de género. There's a lot that needs to be done.
Intersectionality is so important, like identity rights and trans rights, and I think that there's a lot of overlap there. When I think about like again, it's like white. Again, it's like it's not. Oh God, so you have to think beyond your own experience. So you're like, if you're like, okay, well, I'm a gay woman and I'm out and I'm fine. I'm living my life. I can get married now. Check. Okay, well, I'm going to hang my hat, like hang my beanie. Actually, like, no, I'm not, because again, and I think if we're learning anything in the way the world is today, both, I mean, in the United States, in Argentina, and I mean, just, it's a global trend. Like you have to defend like those rights. You have to constantly fight for them. And so like democracy is not a guarantee. Like things aren't always just going to work out. Like we learned that. I think our big wake up call in the US was in 2016 when Trump won the election. It's like, oh fuck. Like you can't just think it's going to be all fine. And now they're trying to roll back all of those rights that we worked so hard to earn. So now more than ever, it is more important to be outspoken and to stand up for what you believe in and to show up and literally and that's what I love that Argentina has that culture of taking to the streets. And again, doesn't mean I agree with every person and everyone who's out there and all of the stuff and all of the internas, fine, but like the fact that people understand the importance of standing up for what you believe in and fighting and standing together in a community is like so fundamental. And like I hope we never lose that, because I can see that there's like bueno, ya está, chicos, y no, because we still have so much to fight for and to like, and also just to remind people that we're here.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that in the end, it's really important like to show up for the person that you have next to you. Like if that is a trans woman, a trans man, an intersex person, maricos, or whoever, like you have to show.
We owe it to each other.
Yes, definitely.
Like I think that it's so true. You think of like it's like every community has its own sort of either spectrum or like hierarchy, whether we like, just, and so of course, like if you have greater privilege because you're white or white passing, or you're cis, or whatever, you have economic privilege, class privilege, I think that's like you have a greater responsibility. I feel like that's something that I take very seriously, like personally, and I get very frustrated when, and that's why you think like just because like lo puto no te quita lo facho. I don't know why I looked at you saying that. I didn't mean that about you, but it's a reminder that like just because you're queer doesn't mean you don't have shitty views or you can't like Definitely. Be an asshole. And so I don't know. I just think that that's like, I think maybe look from the outside, people it's like a monolith, but it's like there's so many nuances and there's it's just very important to not lose sight of that and to remain like intersectional. And yeah, I hope that is something that I mean, of course, now feel on a deeper level, but I think it was always just part of my own experience.
And where you had your epiphany. So it's a place close to your heart.
It's a very special place close to my heart on some carroza. But like, I mean, but like, what's not to love? Like, what's not to love about that
the
whole
theft.
It's
the petty theft.
Oh, great. Yeah. Pride tips.
Do not take your phone.
Or take a burner.
Yeah.
Take a burner, or like, I mean, or take your phone, but like get like have a like be very
mindful about where your phone is at all times.
Yeah, and like if you have like you can get like your fanny pack or your bag, and you can like clip it closed or something, because like I mean it's very I mean I think it's so common, everyone's. But I've been, and also like try to be like a little sober, like maybe be smart about that.
There are not a lot of restrooms, so
there are like
be mindful of the amount you drink,
but also hydration is important. Yes. It's a kind of a catch-22 because it's like drink your water, it's hot, but also you're going to be peeing behind a dumpster.
I wasn't even thinking about water.
But party girl Barbara, she is a crazy. She's getting
loca.
Oh my god, la jarra loca. Oh my god.
No, hungover.
Well, but there's nothing worse than being like insolado, because also I mean Pride is a marathon, not a sprint. So exactly. So
take a hat.
It's a long day. Dip into that gay wardrobe. Get a hat. I mean, like you want to wear comfortable shoes.
Yes. Layers in case it gets cold later.
You want to wear things that like can get totally ruined, because like you're going to be disgusting. The key also, I would say, never like do not take a detour, do not sit down, do not try to take a nap, because if you want to keep going, there are so many parties after. Like, I mean, it depends. Or if you just say, I'm going to go just for during the day into the evening part and then call it a night, because once you get home and you sit down and your dogs start barking and you're like, well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm fully done. But sunscreen,
yes. Bug spray.
Well, dengue is a real thing.
Yes.
So yeah, now probably the bug spray. I mean, you want to have just like, I mean, I think also if you're, I think of people I know who before were like, I want to go, but I don't have anyone to go with. I think like that's where like community is like, look, like don't be shy about like asking. Like if you want to go to Pride and you don't know who to go with, like ask some friends or even like randoms. Like look, I think now, like especially on social media, I'm sure it's like even easier to like organizarse. But like I think that's such a cool thing is like you can just show up and you are made to feel welcome. You like kind of find your people with your friend. Well, obviously have your phone charged. But try to have like no hay señal, like phones do not work, and you're not going to be wanting to have your phone anyway. So like try to have either like a meeting point, like a generic, or like some way to stay together. I think, safety in numbers, very important. If you have a friend who's very tall, it's quite helpful.
Paige.
Oh yeah, because I'm so tall and blonde. I stand out in the crowd. Is that Barbie? No, it's just Paige. That would be nice.
Margot Robbie.
Oh my God, can't wait to see that movie. It's going to literally change all of our lives and cure all of our depression at once. Like no more mentally ill people on the planet. What else? I mean, I think that the bathroom thing is important. It's again not fair for men because they can like pee against a tree. I mean, I've been like, I think sometimes your body just like knows that you're going to be like, it's like survival situation. And so it like you find a way to just manage, but definitely take advantage of like wherever you're doing your previa and like pee before and like pee early and often. Just dropped the phone. Well, there you go.
And I hit the microphone.
On Marcos's floor. On the floor of Marcos's apartment in his studio. And then
is this your floor or are you renting the apartment? I'm sorry.
He owns it. If you can, I mean, definitely take, I mean, I don't know my tips I think are just kind of like generic. I'm not like, bring BYOP, bring your own poppers. Make sure you have plenty.
But share. Always share your poppers.
Sharing is caring.
I mean,
but don't give yourself a migraine because honestly, no one has time for that.
I mean, paint thinner. It's like breathing paint thinner. I mean, no. I don't know what your experience with poppers is. First of all, the thing that like really blows my mind is that in English it's plural and in Spanish it's singular.
El popper. Let's talk about slang.
Okay. Slang.
Like tell me the gay slang. Like, well, like, you know, we have dyke in Spanish. I mean, in English. Dique.
We have torta, tortillera, papa y huevo. But
oh yeah, bombero.
But we don't use that.
That's
anymore.
old school.
That's old.
Why torta?
I really don't know.
Why tortillera?
I think that we investigated this a long time ago. And I think that is because you flip like a tortilla. So you're inverted. Freud would say. Papa y huevo, same thing. It's like the ingredients for tortilla. I have never been called papa y huevo, but I have heard it in like,
I've never heard that one.
Papa y huevo. It was popular in the 80s.
Love that. Throwback.
Yeah.
What about so we have like what about for guys? Are there any other slang? Because I feel like maybe I'm missing out. The dictionary is just being written for me.
Like slang for like puto.
Well, besides puto, I know that.
Yeah.
Been there. Puto paqui. Oh, yeah, paqui. Let's talk about because this is going to be
you're old people.
Well, I think you can be straight though and still not be
definitely.
Paqui. But here's the thing. I want to be very clear.
You were never paqui.
English speakers hear this word and it sounds like a slur.
Yeah.
So it's not like a slur that in English. So it's not. It comes from pachyderm. Pachydermo, right, in Spanish, like a very, like an elephant is a pachyderm because they have very thick skin and they're very kind of like old. So the term paqui here is like meant to describe like straight people, but it's a very specific kind of, I think, of straight person. I mean, it could be all straight people, but okay, those eyes are rolling out of your head. I get it. I'm trying to be. There are allies. Oh my God, the tough crowd.
Yeah. Wait, I agree with you, but I think that the true paqui does not know the meaning of the word paqui.
Yeah.
So when you say like los paquis, what's that? I've never heard that before. You know, straight people. Oh my God, that's discrimination.
Yeah. Oh,
that is a paqui.
I do know someone who was like, when's Straight Pride Month? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You live in a world that is built for you and built around you. And like literally you get to talk about like buscando un hijo at like the asado familiar and you're talking about having like unprotected sex and that's totally normal, whereas like I can't hold a girl's hand on the street without like maybe being afraid of being followed. Like, sorry, I don't feel sorry for you, and I will like, so in that sense, like I have this I do feel like I want to like defender lo mío ahora, but as a former ally. But I think that's a very good distinction.
La better is that's a good one. Better. It's in the book.
I don't remember that.
You're getting we're going to remove your bachelor's degree.
My brain has turned into like an anti-sponge, a sieve, okay?
But in like the 40s and 50s, they like gay people, lesbians and gay men would refer to themselves as better.
Because we are.
I agree.
I mean,
but
sorry.
Like, is he better would be like, or is she better?
Okay.
Would be, is she gay?
Like a friend of Dorothy. Like, here's a friend of Dorothy. Okay, so yeah, there are other phrases like that. I love that. Forgot about that one.
Better.
Oh my God.
Another phrase like that. Let me think.
Are there like other queer slang
Del gremio, sí.
in the
But
union?
my mom used that. Esta es del gremio, no?
I love that though. Like I love
My
that.
mom sent me a message today that said I'm reading about an app that's called Mesa Dulce.
Ooh.
That's for like tortas. Vení y elegí la torta.
I was gonna ask about apps and the app scene here. Like,
You're lucky you don't have to go through the app scene here.
I've heard it's bleak,
It is.
No offense.
It is bleak.
but I've heard it's bleak.
We don't have Grindr, so there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, for the good and the bad.
The amount of men I've seen on Grindr on the bus here, it's like, put the dick pic away. Okay. No one wants to see that. Not now, not ever. All right. How many headless torsos can you have stored on your phone? Honestly, get a hobby.
A lot. Like, do you need to do this in the 152 going
Apparently,
to work
yes.
at 8:30 a.m.?
Like, por favor.
But we don't have that. I mean,
Okay.
I wouldn't like, but there are a lot of people that like would
Benefit from a hookup app.
benefit from a hookup app for lesbians.
But it takes like 3 weeks as you like your dates, like a first date is like a 4 to 6 business day experience. So you can't like meter mucho. Huh? Like Grindr, it's like I've got something at 3:30, one at 4:15, and then another at 6, I see.
No, but I mean, like the safety of those apps is questionable at best.
Yeah.
At Beth. At
Beth. At better.
Elizabeth. At better. So yeah. Tinder, where dreams go to die.
Really?
I think. Yes. Okay, Cupid, I heard that it's like better now, but like it has a lot of information. I think that is it's counterproductive with like I want to meet somebody and fall in love, and as soon as you give me the information that they clap when the plane lands, it's not going to happen.
Oh, that's
They
a
give
deal
you
breaker.
too much information.
What are your lesbian red flags? Clapping when the plane lands.
Wait, I have to think this.
Okay.
Edit this thought. No. Let's see. Macrista.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
I'm not offended by that.
I mean, it is political. We've been like discussing but I mean, it's not that I can't have like a conversation with somebody.
But like if you're looking for a partner, like if
Yeah.
you're someone, yeah.
That's
Obviously, turfs, fuera.
yeah, not on my turf. Pretty girls.
Oh, Barbara.
I'm sorry.
She wants a pretty face.
I'm very shallow. Yes, I'm a very shallow person. I have no problem in admitting it.
I mean, hey, you have to be upfront. Know who you are. Self-awareness is key.
it may not be like the cutest opinion of them all, but you know what? It is what it is.
So you just want like hotties only.
Yeah.
Fuggos need not apply. Like that would be your Grindr profile.
Fuggos.
What would the fuggos? What would the what did you call me? What would like the lesbian Grindr here be called? Like something with this. Oh, we didn't talk about we didn't talk about tijereta. Hello, how do we talk about tortillera and tijereta?
Tijereta. Well, but it's like this. It's like
It's the same, but some people who don't speak Spanish want to expand their vocabulary, Barbara. And they want to have
Scissoring is tijeretear, which comes from the noun tijereta. Tijereta is the act,
Okay.
like tribbing.
oh, teacher.
Tribadismo. I taught you that word. Mm-hmm. Tribbing
Yes.
in English. And tijereta is the version in Spanish.
There you go. Now, do you think have some of these, just like in English, we're sort of reclaiming, dyke or lesbian to maybe take out of it's used obviously in a negative context with saying like, I'm proudly this. Is there something similar in Spanish where it's like, someone can like, tijereta, like obviously, and to sound like bad, but you're like, yo soy tortillera,
Yeah.
out and proud. Or no?
Torta is more like, I think that in the last 30 years is like the more acceptable and political word as well. I think torta works. It's like
Mesa Dulce. Literally
Mesa
sign me
Dulce.
up. That is brilliant. That would be a good name for a gay podcast.
yeah.
Should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Should have thought of that in the rebrand.
I have a podcast idea that
I would call it Palmerita in honor of Marcos, who can never get his fucking palmera. Oh my God. That's going to be the recurring theme. Oh man. So okay, I'm trying to think if I have like lingering, just like sort of rapid fire questions. Do you have any like good sloppy lesbian stories you want to share with the class that you think are like fun and entertaining?
I think it was our second Tinder date. We slept over at my house, and then we woke up, and she told me like, you know what, I have to go like to Tigre.
Casual.
Casual. And I said, I'm gonna go take the train. And I said, you know what? I'll take you there in my car.
Golden
because I
retriever.
I felt like really bad. And
Feel bad about what?
Because I had no interest in pursuing it. You know
So
what?
you thought you would drive her to Tigre as a
Yes.
way of saying, I'm not into you?
in hindsight,
Bada.
I can see now that was a mistake. But at the time, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this good deed. And I will be liberated
And then
from
break
the
her
guilt
heart. Right.
of
a
breaking
one
her
night,
heart.
like of literally a second date.
Yes, my mind is an intricate.
You are crazy.
And so I took her to Tigre, but it wasn't like Tigre, and she for some reason didn't want to use the GPS, so we got lost.
Okay.
But when we do finally arrive to like this place, I was like, I thought I was taking her to like a house, but turns out it was a country club. And I was like wearing sweatpants, and I had no bra on.
Oh my God. You were like,
Yes, I was like the Uber driver.
you were the chabón.
Yes.
Were
And
you
then
like basically in soufflé, in like the, in the,
we
in like
get-
house slippers?
Yes, but the closest thing to house slippers that you can drive in.
By Birkenstocks.
I do not have Birkenstocks.
Oh my God.
I am-
Someone, please call the police. This is an emergency.
believe it or not. Well, we get to Tigre. I look like the description I just made, and I get a flat tire in the country club.
Oh.
So my car is unusable, so I need to call like assistance. So I call assistance.
You're a lesbian who can't change a tire.
I cannot change a tire.
Okay.
I'm one of those like reads books lesbians.
This is-
I can't.
You're not handy.
Not handy at well.
I built my bed last week and I felt like so butch. It was great.
It's for like what's, but good for you.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
tools
diminished.
were required, but I still used my hands.
It's valid. So flat tire. I called like assistance, and I have to wait like an hour or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'll stay in the car and listen to Ahpen,
The best radio.
the best radio.
Did they play Africa?
I wouldn't know because she said, no, you can't stay out here. Just come inside to my family party, to my family asado.
Is this? Oh my God! This is literally like a video match. This is una joda de video match.
No, this was real. So I'm like, okay, but I'm not staying for like the party, like the asado.
You're
So
not staying for the mesa dulce.
I did not stay for the mesa dulce. So I like sat there with my beanie on, like my reglementary beanie. And like people were chatting me up, like, how did you guys meet? Like,
The internet.
please, no, stop. No, we did not meet. I am a ghost. Please ignore me.
You are
I am not
hallucinating.
here.
Was she that's delusional. Like she thought that was fine. Like she didn't think that you would be uncomfortable.
I was profoundly uncomfortable. Finally, the assistance, like somebody comes and like changes my tire, and I leave. And that was like profoundly traumatic. And
Were you like, I'll call you, and then like block her?
I did not tell her I would call her at all.
Were you just like,
bye?
yeah.
I am leaving this country club, and we are like, bye. And she wanted to see me again after that. And trust me, this was not like an amazing experience that ended up with, it was like mediocre at best, everything. And
So basically, don't use an app to try to find someone.
use an app.
Go to
and
your local poetry reading.
Don't take people to Tigre at all, unless you're married to them or like want to have children with them. Not even if they're your girlfriends or boyfriends. Just don't take them there.
I would just say don't even socialize. It's so overrated.
Yeah.
I mean, on that note, maybe should we just like get back in the closet? JK, not doing that.
I can't do that. I look like a Milwaukee man. It's too late for me. I can't grow my hair out.
Dale capo.
Maestro.
Maestro, eh? I kind of love that for you. I would just lean into that.
I mean, I kind of have like no alternative. It is my life now.
I mean,
it is what it is.
Like, live your truth.
My
Come on.
Milwaukee truth.
Just go get that carabiner and just call me when you're done.
What is in Milwaukee? What should like adopt as my spirit animal? Are there like deers?
I mean, it's like, a lot of Polish people and
Okay.
like beer and cheese and industry.
Okay, I can roll with
You'd fit
beer.
in.
Great.
Don't get a flat tire.
Milwaukeean. What's
A
Milwaukee?
Wisconsinite.
Wisconsinite. Look at me. I'm a Wisconsinite.
Serving Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Padam. On that note, my flete is here because I'm
Okay.
gonna go move in with the girl I just met at Merienda.
Good.
She's the one. I think she's really the one.
She's the one.
She makes really, really good vegan empanadas. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and follow and like. Only if you're gay. Packies need not apply. JK, I need everyone's ears and eyes and money. So I will take those corporate dollars. I do have cafecito. You can serve it to me in this Alf glass or in an actual cup. But yeah, don't forget to follow along. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram. I'm going to get on TikTok eventually.
Come on, you'd be a gritty TikToker.
I'd be
great TikToker.
I'd be great. For like my dog, my audience of one. And cafecito. So just like keep loving us because the gays need your money because we're poor. And oh my God. Okay. I'm getting there. Barbara, it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me.
Would you like to promote anything?
No, I'm sorry. I don't have anything.
Okay. Well,
What?
like a poetry reading?
My vegan empanadas.
Okay. And like this week, like, okay, perfect. And we'll have like a cry circle. Sounds honestly like my dream weekend. I'll see you there. Okay, everybody. So cool. Go hug a local queer. And if you don't, I hate you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Bad Information was recorded at Estudios Nieve in the charmingly chaotic neighborhood of Villa Crespo in Buenos Aires, Argentina.